I'd like to welcome all of you on behalf
It's a
of
darkened room with a quiet hush falling over it, truly fitting for a museum. Proud faces line a stage as an innovative exhibit is announced. The Other Emily, exploring Emily Carr's life before she was famous through a unique collection of contemporary art and car artifacts. A shining moment for the Royal BC Museum.
What we have done is put together an exhibit that is a conversation. It's a conversation between a contemporary artist and a museum and archives curator.
Putting on an exhibition like The Other Emily is an exciting moment for the Royal BC Museum and for those of us who get to enjoy it. And putting on more shows more often is something that the museum wants to do. But they're facing limitations. Many international exhibits are a no-go because the museum doesn't have the space to show them and can't control the temperature and humidity to protect them. And many of our own collections are simply left in storage because the museum is bursting at the seams.
The Royal BC Museum has the most amazing collections, and the opportunity to have more of them on display, to be able to do exhibitions like The Other Emily and bring out our vast collection and share it with the public, and change it more frequently. All of those opportunities are presented with new spaces.
So the museum is looking to expand by constructing new buildings better suited for both storing and showing collections, and they'd like enough space to serve them for the next 100 years. Plans include 2 towers at 12 and 14 stories high, plus an all-new main building for the entrance, cafe and shops. The plans basically call for a total facelift of the museum as it stands today, and that requires a rezoning of the land.
Council has just considered the application, and the next step will be to move it forward to a public hearing. That date hasn't been set yet, but it should be coming up fairly soon. It'll be very well advertised.
As the city considers the museum's plan, tourism emerges as a guiding light in all this decision-making. Victoria's tourist economy is struggling. Last year, fewer people made their way through our airports and ferries than years before, and hotel revenue took a hit as well. Reinventing the museum could be the ticket towards better tourist numbers in the future.
I think we're a significant player in the tourism industry. I think others would say that they can see impacts of what the Royal BC Museum does on their business, whether we talk to the BC Ferry Corporation or we talk to hotels.
Councillor Madoff agrees, but says she's hearing concerns about some of the plans, and it's the collections building that's catching the attention of people right now. As the tallest structure on the lot, it's going to stand out.
There are people who are saying that they really are sorry to see the museum precinct changing in such a dramatic way.
The museum also intends to lease unused portions of the collections building as office space, saying that will bring in some money in the meantime while the collections gradually expand over the next 100 years or so. Council is concerned that over time it will be hard to reclaim the office space and give up the income it brings in, but the museum says they have a plan in place.
We would occupy half the building, and then we would take over a couple of floors perhaps every 10 years.
After the public hearing, Council will make their decision, and if everything goes to the museum's plan, they say it will take about 3 years to design and construct the collections building and about 15 to complete the project in full. In Victoria, I'm Hilary Hallman, your Community News Specialist.
Producing over 9,000 hours of local programming every year. This is Shaw TV, your local voice.